A few weeks ago we discovered that my fish have saltwater ick. This is definitely not something you want in your aquarium. Unfortunately, we also lost some fish, but I doubt this was due to this parasite. I suspect a bacterial infection caused trouble, as it was solely the cardinal species that suffered fatalities. I was especially worried about my clownfish. It looked rough, beaten up, but under the microscope all I found was saltwater ick. Meanwhile, myself and Molly's had their back fins ripped apart due to aggression. Things were not looking good at all. So today we're checking in to see how things are going now. Is the parasite under control, or are we still fighting this battle? But before we dive into that, my sea urchins have officially become a problem. Don't get me wrong, I love these guys, but they are absolutely tearing apart my reef tank. So it's time for them to move out of the aquarium. On a more exciting note, we've also added some new corals, and today we're introducing some new fish. I can't wait to show you what we picked up and how they're settling into the aquarium. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Now, sit back, relax and enjoy. First things first, saltwater ick. 2 weeks ago I posted a video about a major issue in my Saltwater Paludarium, white spot disease or saltwater ick. This posed a big challenge because there's no reef safe cure for this parasite. Instead we talked about ways we can manage it. Ick is actually present in many aquariums, but as long as the fish are stress free and well fed, it won't necessarily lead to a full-blown outbreak like we experienced. Now you might be wondering, why are you adding new fish if you have a parasite in the aquarium that can kill them? Well, the parasite seems to be under control now. The video I posted 2 weeks ago was partly filmed before Christmas, and since then I haven't seen any new spots on my fish. So now, over a month later, I feel confident about adding some new, healthy tank-bred fish to the aquarium. Tank-bred fish tend to adapt better to aquarium life. They readily accept food and are generally speaking hardier than wild-caught fish. Plus, they help reduce pressure on wild populations, making them a more sustainable choice. I bought 5 new fish, and one of them is a bit of a controversial choice, as it can be a hit or miss in a reef tank with corals. Now, all of these fish were tank-bred by De Jong Marine Life here in the Netherlands, one of the leading facilities when it comes to sustainable reef keeping. First, I picked up 2 Banggai cardinalfish. We've kept a large group of them before, but after they started getting aggressive towards each other, I had to return some to the store. I was left with 2 pairs, but unfortunately, they didn't make it, or at least I never saw them again. So I really hope these fish do much better. Next, I added a pair of Orchid dottybacks. These fish are great for reef tanks. They're hardy, small and reef safe. Now, they can be territorial towards each other, especially with similar sized fish. But in a long tank like mine with plenty of room, introducing them at the same time should help keep aggression down. Now for the controversial choice. Meat? Well, actually, I don't have a name for this little guy yet, so drop your name suggestions below. This is a multibarred angelfish, and the best part of it, it's tank-bred. And that's a big deal because these fish are usually wild caught, making them incredibly picky eaters and very difficult to keep alive. In the wild, multibarred angels feed on sponges and tunicates, which I have both of them in my aquarium. So maybe he'll snack on those, but I'm okay with that. It's just part of nature. Since this one is tank-bred, there's a much better chance it will accept prepared foods like pellets, flakes, frozen and live foods. Less stress, better survival rates and easier feeding. These fish can be shy, so plenty of hiding spots are a must, but luckily my tank has plenty of those. Having a captive bred multibarred angel makes a huge difference in how well it adjusts to the new aquarium. So, what should we name this little guy? And if you have ever kept one yourself, let me know how it went. For now, I'm offering a mix of high quality foods, from pellets, flakes, frozen and live foods to macroalgae. There's plenty of that in this aquarium. And that brings us to the next topic of this video. A while ago I added 3 sea urchins to help control an algae problem. And no, not macroalgae, hair algae. In some areas of the reef I noticed thick patches of green hair algae, which I definitely don't want. Sea urchins are fantastic algae eaters and they've cleaned it up so fast. But now they've developed a taste for my macroalgae. While that's not an issue necessarily, since the macroalgae grows so fast in this tank, the problem is that they're ripping apart certain species like this invasive Vivarium. Small pieces drift into other parts of the reef and clog up the power heads. So it's time for the sea urchins to move to a new home. They're big chunky guys, don't you think? These sailfin mollies are recovering. Their fins are slowly growing back and thankfully things haven't gotten worse. I'm really relieved that things are looking better in the Saltwater Paludarium, because I was pretty worried during the last video. Last week I also added 3 new corals to the reef, a Lobophilia and 2 brain corals. Before adding them I used Fritz Aquatics Coral Dip, a sponsor of the channel, to ensure they were pest free. We don't want any more unwanted surprises. Under a daylight spectrum, these corals may look a bit plain, but under blue LEDs with an orange filter over the camera, the colors are incredible. The reef is really coming together, but there's a lot more that I want to change and improve. If you have any suggestions yourself, let's chat in the comments down below. Until next time, thanks for watching.